Hey everybody, it's Amanda with Pain to Purpose Coaching, and today I wanted to talk about something that I've seen pop up on social media recently a lot, and that is men not being nurtured past their mom's house. You guys aren't getting nurtured? What? Uh, um, yeah, I'm surprised too, and I think maybe we ought to talk about it a little bit and figure out why that is. Um, I know some of you, when you hear that, you're thinking, what? Because, if you're older generations, you're like, men are so spoiled. And if you're from certain cultures, um, you know, you guys know better, right? You know that men are being well taken care of, and so much so that they aren't able to function a lot of the times as the person that their spouse thought that they would be, right? There's a lot of expectation there, right? And in just these different places. And, there might be several reasons for why this is. I've seen several people make comments on social media about it. The one thing that I noticed that kind of stood out is that the person that made the most recent comment that I saw about it was, it's like it's a fact everywhere. They didn't say sometimes. They didn't say, this generation. They didn't say, they said it, and they were like, and they actually added at the end, like, it's a fact. Men don't get nurtured past their mama's house, and that's a fact. And that is their reality. And so let's talk about this a little bit. Let's dive right in here. So there might be some different reasons for why that is. We could take the long way around, and we could talk about, economy being a factor in that. We can talk about generational differences being a factor, expectations, gender roles, all of those things, right? But I wanted to scratch the surface a little more and maybe talk about why the real reasons are that the individual isn't getting, let's not make any generalizations about a whole group of beings. Let's narrow it down a little bit and address it in a more personal way. And so it got me thinking when I saw that. And, I was like, well, this person made a comment that, is it cultural? Or something like that. They said it was, in their culture. And I've been around a lot of different cultures, and from what I've seen, mostly in the world, that the men may be expected to take care of the family, but that is primarily financially, usually. And that led me to kind of think, well, what is nurturing to this person? What does it mean to them? And so that's kind of where I was going with this a little bit. The first thing is, like I said, you get factor economy, culture, all of those things in. But let's just take all that and throw it out, and let's get to the meat of it, which is, are you codependent? If you are codependent, if you're one of those folks that you're always giving to everybody else. You're always taking care of your girl. You're always taking care of your kids. You're always taking care of your mama. You're always taking care of everybody at work. You are taking care of everybody else all the time. And you just, you wake up, you hit the ground running every day, and you take it, and it makes you feel good to take care of everybody else. Yeah, especially that, because that's what codependency is, right? It's like the thing that drains you, but at the same time, it feeds your addiction, which is codependency. And I've always said that I thought codependency was an addiction. I've said that my entire life. And I've been codependent and worked through some of it, so I can speak from experience on this one in particular. But if you are codependent, that could be a really big reason why you're not getting your needs met. And a lot of people that are codependent, they are usually not very good at receiving. What is your receivership like? Are you, how do you feel when somebody tries to give to you? Do you feel uncomfortable? Or how are you, there's another one, how are you at asking for what you need? Do you have the voice and the courage and the wherewithal and the right words to communicate, and the communication skills? Do you have what it takes to be able to look at somebody and ask for what you want? That could be another reason why you're not getting your needs met. Let's see, next, I would then wonder, what are you attracting? What's your energy like? Because I'm an energy coach primarily, and I look at everything from the energy aspect, and everything is energy, and everything is vibration and frequency and all this stuff. Sorry, I can't talk today, y'all. Everything's vibration and frequency, and we have to look at it from those points of view, to get the entire picture of things. And so what are you attracting? Are you attracting takers? Are you attracting people who are attracted? Are you attracting narcissists? Are you attracting, what is that? What kind of people are you looking to get love from? What kind of people do you have around you? What are those relationships like? How do you show up in them? How do they show up in them? Those kinds of things. Another one, we did energy. Love language. What is your love language? What is nurturing to you? A lot of people, they look at nurturing like, somebody buys them stuff all the time, maybe the newest tech gadgets, or they're always buying me flowers, or always buying me this or that, and they love me, they buy me all this stuff. Some people have that as one of their love languages, that they receive love in the form of, material things. And we're not here to judge it. It just is what it is. That's their love language. That's the way they were taught to show or receive, anyway, love from somebody. And that might be, worth looking into. And another thing is, a lot, we define it as different things. A lot of the time, some people define it as sexual. Sexual and intimate and affectionate are different. They're different things. They feel different and they look different. And they require a different mode in a way. Somebody that's very affectionate may not be sexual. So, it just depends on how you classify nurturing. Somebody doing your chores, is that nurturing for you? Somebody running your errands, is being thoughtful. Somebody taking care of all the, they're always cooking and cleaning and laying out your clothes, and, and they do it for your family members even, and all that stuff. Are they like that? Is that what you believe nurturing is? So first we've got to define what is nurturing to you, and are those things actually being done, and you're just like not seeing that they're being done, or rather the person that's doing it doesn't realize that that's not your love language, or I don't know. You've got to explore these types of things. And then of course, this one's a little bit different, and I think that it does it's how should I say this? Kind of a norm maybe of why your needs aren't getting met. If you're single, guys, if you're single, duh, if you're single, you're not going to get your needs met, honey. You're just not. You cannot have the milk without buying the cow. You've got to invest in somebody if you want them to invest in you. It is a trade, and that is okay. That's the whole point. I know that it's really popular in some music and stuff like that nowadays, where people are like, I got hoes in different area codes, and each one of them cooked me up a meal when I dropped by and all this stuff. That's not reality. It might be might be something that goes on for a little bit, but I guarantee you that person's not sitting next to their bedside when they pass away at 90. I guarantee you. So, we got to start cultivating and planting seed where we want it to grow, and getting the reward and enjoying the fruit that way, right? It's got to be, you got to make some commitments, man. If you really want to you got to invest. You got to invest. You're worth it, and they're worth it. And so it's worth, if you're single and expecting nurturing to come from anybody other than mama, then, get a dog. That's got to be enough. It's got to be enough, because if you're not letting someone in to your life, they can't, it's got to be a two-way street. They can't give to you. They can't, the expectation is never going to be met, and just so you know, expectations are future resentments, right? So we all know how that goes. Not a good look at all. But, and one of the last things is, letting somebody in. If you don't have really good, social skills, communication skills, and all of that, it can be really hard. You may want love and you may need it, but you don't often have it because you're not able to communicate that. You're not able to show it. It's got to be, for most people, it's got to be shown, it's got to be talked about, and it's got to be put into action. It's got to, you can say you love somebody all day, but are you showing it? Is it in your actions? Is it about you? And what does your day look like with the people that you're around? Are you communicating your needs? Are you communicating your wants and what's in your head? You might have this in your head, but are you getting it out to them so that they can see it, and then everybody's on the same page? So those are just some things that, when it comes to you not getting your needs met, and not getting nurtured, when I see somebody say that, it could be several things going on, but it's never going to change if you don't decide to do the work on it. And I don't care what generation you are, or what culture, or if you're a male or you're a female, people don't get what they need very often, and they go somewhere else to get it. We've all got those friends that they've got 5 or 6 people on the hook, right? They've got 5 or 6 people they're dealing with, and you're fragmenting yourself, and nobody wants a tiny piece of you. They want all of you. And if you expect to get a return on that, then you've got to give your all, and it's worth it. I mean, all these superficial relationships, and the reason why love doesn't work nowadays is because people have not taken the time to get to know and love themselves first. Believe it or not, it's actually a practice that you can teach people how to love and know themselves first. We get into these relationships, or a lot of y'all are getting in these relationships where you expect somebody to be your mama, daddy, uncle, brother, cousin, best friend, shopping buddy, lover, all this stuff, and then you put all your eggs in one basket, and then the other person is just like, I can't be everything to you. I don't know what to do anymore. And they've got their own issues that were, and everything was all about you, and it's just like they leave. You're gonna get, it's just not good. And there's magic and beauty in being best friends with your partner, but they are not supposed to be your everything. You guys come together as whole people to make a big, huge chunk of something wonderful. It's not that, oh, well, I'm dragging myself. You're going to want, really, if y'all don't start doing your work before you start getting involved and with other people and trying to get married and doing all this stuff, I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned that it's going to be all for nothing. And, nobody wants to waste their time. And I'm going to tell you, as somebody that's been divorced, it sucks being out there dating again. It really sucks. It really just stinks having that kind of, it can feel like a failure to get a divorce. Some people are like, my divorce is great, thank goodness. Well, you're one of those people that didn't know who you were and finally found out, and then was like, this is not what I want, right? So there you go. I want this instead, and went after it maybe. But there's better ways to do this stuff. If y'all are younger listening to this, if you let your teenagers hear this, Man, please. And this is why I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book about it. Please get to know yourself and love yourself first before you start getting out there to date and mix and mingle with the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever your cup of tea is. Before you get out there and do that, because it's just going to be a rotating door, and you're just dragging your problems from relationship to relationship. Ain't never learning nothing, going through the same stuff with a different person, with the same habits and all this. Guys, please spare yourself. I could say this two ways. I could say life is too short, right? I could say it that way, or I could say life is too long to get it wrong. That's what I think. Life is too long to be getting it wrong and having to start over all the time. And, it's worth getting a coach and working with somebody before you get married, or if you're single right now and you're wanting eventually to have a partner again. If you've gotten burned several times, you've screwed up, your partners in the past have been a mess. If everybody's a mess, but you really want love again, and you're afraid to put yourself back out there and open your heart up, if you want to know how to trust yourself again and attract worthwhile, good people that are going to be good for you and enrich your existence on this planet, please message me and we can work together. I want to see people happy. I want to see people getting the love and getting the nurturing that they need and deserve, but we got to figure out what that looks like. We got to figure out where your blocks are, and and just get, you need somebody to mirror this stuff. And I do mirroring sessions. It's 1 hour. It's free, one-on-one, private. I don't tell people who I see. Sometimes I might, if I'm doing a video, I might say I work with people on, but I don't ever divulge who it is or any of that stuff. It's completely private. And this is a sacred space for you to come to be able to do your healing work or figure yourself out, get to know yourself. And that's what I do. I mean, I'm a mirror and I'm just a guide. That's it. And we all need that because, used to members of clergy showed up and did that. And used to, there was a town elder. There was a wise woman or a wise man in the tribe, something like that. People used to have more friends. We live in a time and place now where people, they go to work and then they come home and it's just on the devices the rest of the time. They don't really have much of a social life. So we've got to start making these things organic and making these happen again. You're not going to get honesty. You're not going to get good things on any dating app. Now, some of you have had success with it. And like I said, you are very fortunate and I'm glad. I'm happy for you. But, we are more wired to each other nowadays, but we are not more connected. And it's a problem. And it really impacts somebody's social skills and, being able to have the skills to keep and have a partner, one partner, if that's what you're into. A lot of folks are talking about how, multiple partners are really more beneficial. Well, at the rate that we're going, where people are not fixing this stuff and not working on it, yeah, it makes sense to have 10 different, messes and walkaways and whatever, breakups. And you can make it with one person if you know and love yourself and know how to communicate a little bit. And that's what we do. We figure it out. So message me if this sounds familiar, or if you're a woman or a man and you're wanting to get back out there and date again after being hurt. I do relationship coaching, and even if it's the relationship with you, I can help you out. So go ahead and message me, and you can also email me at P2P coaching. Okay. You can message me on IG or Facebook or whatever, or messenger app. So just, it's p2pcoachamanda@gmail.com. It's a long one, so that's why I usually don't say it very often. People are like, what? But anyway, if you're willing to do the work, we could get you to a whole other level. So I just wanted to put that out there, and I hope you take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and see you soon. Bye.